She walked through the hotel lobby, her designer heels clicking against the marble floor. As she passed the janitor, she wrinkled her nose in disgust. "People like you should be invisible," she muttered under her breath. The janitor remained silent, his expression unreadable. But days later, at the most important meeting of her life, she walked into the boardroom and froze when she saw who was sitting at the head of the table. Stay tuned for an unbelievable story of arrogance, humility, and a shocking twist. Emma Sinclair was one of the most successful businesswomen in the city. She had built her wealth from the ground up, or at least, that's what she liked to tell people. In reality, she had inherited a fortune and had never known a day of struggle. To her, success wasn't about talent or effort. It was about status. Every morning, Emma walked into the lobby of the five-star hotel where she was staying. It was a place for the elite, the kind of people who mattered. And every morning she would pass by a janitor, a man in his late 40s, dressed in a simple uniform, pushing a mop across the shining floors. To Emma, he was just part of the background. Someone unimportant. Someone she didn't even have to acknowledge. One morning, as she hurried through the lobby, the janitor accidentally stepped into her path, momentarily blocking her way. Emma gasped, stepping back dramatically. "Ugh, watch where you're going." The janitor immediately stepped aside. "I'm sorry, ma'am," he said softly, bowing his head. But Emma wasn't finished. She scoffed. "Do you even speak English? Do they hire just anyone these days?" A few guests turned their heads, but no one intervened. The janitor simply nodded, staying silent. Emma rolled her eyes. "Whatever. Just stay out of my way next time. People like you should be invisible." And with that, she strutted away, leaving the janitor standing there, his face calm, unreadable. Days later, Emma was preparing for the most important meeting of her career. She was about to sign a deal with one of the biggest investment firms in the country. If she could impress them, it would make her company millions. That morning, she walked confidently into the sleek glass skyscraper, her assistant trailing behind her. "Make sure they know who I am," she instructed. "We need them to respect us." She entered the executive boardroom, adjusting her expensive blazer. The company's top executives were already seated, waiting for her. But there was one chair at the head of the table that was still empty. Emma placed her designer bag on the table and flashed her signature smile. "Gentlemen, it's an honor to be here today. I'm sure we'll have a fantastic—" The door opened. Emma turned, expecting to see another wealthy businessman. Instead, she froze. Walking through the door, dressed in a tailored suit, was the janitor from the hotel. Only, he wasn't a janitor. Emma's breath caught in her throat. He looked completely different. Poised. Powerful. He walked straight to the head of the table and took a seat, looking directly at her with calm, knowing eyes. One of the executives smiled. "Emma, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. James Carter, the owner of this firm." Emma's face turned pale. Wait, what?" The man, James, tilted his head slightly. "It's nice to see you again, Miss Sinclair." Her heart pounded. You're the janitor." James chuckled. "Number? But I do believe in humility. See, I own several luxury hotels. Occasionally, I like to observe how guests treat the staff. It tells me everything I need to know about their character." Emma's throat went dry. James leaned forward, his expression turning serious. "And what I saw was disappointing." She tried to speak, to defend herself, but James raised a hand. "Save it. This meeting is over." Emma's jaw dropped. "But the deal?" James stood up, buttoning his suit jacket. "We don't do business with people who lack basic respect for others." The executives exchanged glances, silently agreeing. One by one they stood up and walked out. Emma sat there stunned, as her entire career crumbled around her. As she walked out of the building, defeated, Emma's assistant hesitated before speaking. Maybe, next time you should be a little nicer to people? Emma didn't respond. For the first time in her life, she had nothing to say. Because in that moment, she finally understood the lesson she had ignored for so long. True success isn't about money or power. It's about character. And character is what people remember most. Arrogance can open doors, but humility keeps them open. Respect is something that cannot be bought. It must be earned. Because at the end of the day, you never know who someone really is, or who they might become. So the next time you're tempted to look down on someone, remember, karma has a way of revealing the truth. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible real-life stories. Have you ever experienced a shocking twist like this? Tell us in the comments.